Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 8 of the Geek Press podcast. On this episode, we talk about WandaVision and the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Now, before this episode gets started, I just want to come out and say I apologize for this episode just kind of ending a little bit short. We do get into a little bit of detail of the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, but we use Zoom to record, and I completely forgot that sometimes Zoom requires you to upgrade in order to keep using it. So you're going to notice the episode end pretty abruptly, and I do apologize about that. But I do hope you enjoy the rest of the episode because I feel like this is a really good podcast. And thank you guys for listening. And I hope you enjoy the episode. Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Luis Gutierrez. Welcome to another episode of the Geek Press podcast. I don't remember what episode that we're on. I'm going to get back to that. We're going to be talking about a whole bunch of topics, but I am joined by my great co-host who is right here, Noah Garcia. And then we got our lovely guest returning again, Jakey Boo over here. And you guys want to go introduce yourselves really quick so that way I could say what episode we're on?
Yeah, I'm Jake Laurel. I'm just a dude who is on here. That's it.
I'll introduce Jake. Jake Laurel is a journalism student. He is a writer and graphic designer who's won merits at state competitions for journalism community colleges. And he's also been recognized by many different organizations for his work in journalism. And Jake is freelance and he does great work.
We're on episode 8, by the way. Welcome to episode 8 of the Geek Press podcast.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I forgot. You guys are like nationally recognized journalists, and I'm just kind of here.
Yeah, you are just here, just collecting dough, just shitting on by, you know.
Oh God, fuck you.
I feel like the tagline for this podcast should be welcome to the Geek Press podcast. We don't know what episode this is.
Did you guys hear that?
We've said
Yeah.
it every time.
Yeah, we should start that every
That
time.
should be the tagline.
Did you guys hear that? I threw a water bottle and completely missed.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So really quick, let's go around and talk about anything we're watching, anything we're playing. I think I'll hit us off. I know last week I said I was gonna start reading this book in manga. I'm gonna be real with you. I haven't even touched them. I need to go back and read them.
Terrible fan.
Yeah, right. One thing I have finished watching, it's a show on Apple TV called Ted Lasso. If you guys have the opportunity, I would recommend you watch Ted Lasso. It is insanely great. It is a super,
Apple TV.
Yeah, it's one of the only
Apple
good shows they have.
TV.
Yes.
What is it aside from that? What is even on Apple TV?
Okay, so there's Ted Lasso. There's like there's only like 2 or 3 TV shows. I'm not even paying for it. It's a friend's. He gave me the login information.
Just like how I gave you my HBO login.
Okay. I'm paying for
Just
in regards to streaming is Spotify. My girlfriend pays for Netflix. She pays for Funimation. My friend pays for Hulu. My other friend pays for HBO Max, which is Noah over here. My other friend pays for Apple TV. Dude, I literally pay for and I have another friend who pays for Disney.
You are literally soul sucking vampire status right now.
I am. But here's the thing, though. They all offer it to me. So it's like I'm not gonna turn down this offer, you know?
Yeah, you're not gonna turn down the offer. Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, it's like someone has this pot of gold right here, and they're like, "Hey, Lewis, you want it? No repercussions." Fuck yeah, I want the pot of gold. Give me it, you know?
Yeah, I feel you.
So yeah, I just finished watching Ted Lasso, and I just been playing. What have I been playing? A lot of Sea of Thieves lately, and I'm gonna pass it off to Jakey Boo. What's some source of entertainment?
I've been deep in Doom Eternal. Hard in that. Just playing on the second hardest difficulty. Is
Like
that the
ultra
hardest
hard
difficulty?
or something, right?
Yeah, it's ultra violence or something like that. It's pretty good.
Is this your first run through of the game?
No, I played it earlier, but this moment, the controls and all that stuff, like it took me a while to unrust myself, you know.
Yeah. That game is really unforgiving, but that's one of like the lures of it.
Yeah, something I really like about it.
Okay, now we're gonna pass it off to you, Noah Garcia.
I've been continuing the WandaVision hype train, which is so good and fun. I've recently picked up a few comics here and there, but nothing substantial or noteworthy. And I'm continuing to watch and read Lovecraft Lovecraft Country. I know my camera's flipped, but it's a pretty interesting book. And that's all. That's the media I've just been consuming lately. Nothing that, if you listen to last episode, has really been new.
I see American Gods right there.
Yes.
Is that the Bible for all of our audio listeners? He's reaching for the Bible, King James version. Huh.
American Gods does kick ass.
I don't have the Bible, but I do have the Communist Manifesto.
There you go. For
That's
Karl
a good
Marx.
one. Mm-hmm. That's a banger. It's an instant banger.
And
And you need to have, no, I'm not going to say that joke. But that's going to jump right into our first topic of today, where we are going to talk about a little show called WandaVision. It is on a up-and-coming streaming app by an up-and-coming company called Disney, and the app is called Disney Plus. I don't know if you guys heard of it.
Why do you say up and coming? I'm just curious like that.
well, the thing is that I don't want to sound snobbish, but I think I'm the one who helped discover Disney. Like, I signed up for Disney Plus, and they're like, "What's Disney Plus?" And I had to tell my friends, and now everyone's watching Disney Plus. So I don't want to brag, but I kind of started to help instigate the whole fad. So
I think The Mandalorian did that.
Nah, I never heard of Mando.
The Mandalorian, that indie show. Yeah, I was into it before
the indie show. Yeah,
it really took off at Sunset. You know.
Yeah.
You could tell Noah got pretty perturbed by that comment. Like, no, how dare you?
What are you
Mandalorian, what's that?
I enjoyed Mandalorian. I don't know why I'm being assaulted like this. What did I ever do?
What didn't you do?
Yeah, we've Lewis and I have been watching the show. Jake has but I feel like Jake has enough, is in the cultural now enough to know what's already going on.
Yeah, like we're gonna get into spoilers with this. So just FYI, if you're not caught up, what is it, like episode 7 already, right?
It's episode 8.
5. Okay,
Oh, 5.
if you're not caught up with episode 5,
There's been 5 episodes.
We are gonna dive heavily into spoilers regarding the last episode, and we might talk about the last few episodes as well. I know Noah, you're loving this, I think, a lot more than I am.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I just made it sound like I'm not liking it at all. I am really loving it, but I think it's resonating more with you as from a comic book reader. So I want you to kick it off, talk about it.
What's funny is that as much as I love everything that WandaVision is doing, there's a lot of, I try to stay out of film Twitter because don't go to film Twitter. But the point is that a lot of people are like,
we still love you, Diego, though.
No, we don't.
A lot of people are saying that people can't handle slower storytelling anymore. And I think that's an interesting idea, because I'm sitting there like, okay, spoon feed this to me and let me fall into it. But for the past 4 episodes, I've watched the show with my sister and her husband, and my sister was just like, this is too slow. I want answers now. And I'm just like, well, you just got to enjoy the ride. That's one of these shows. And some of the conversation about the show has been on its pacing, on its ability to have sort of this story that takes its time, then picks up and goes. And some people just hate that. They can't handle that type of storytelling anymore.
You know, it's a good show that I think really did that well. It was Game of Thrones. Like there was a lot of setup in that show, and it was a very slow setups, but then it was worth it, because then you get like the battle of the bastards. You get the storming of like Winterfell, and all those other big fights.
Yeah.
Why do you think shows like WandaVision are getting more hated on it? For our audio listeners, Jacob Knight is pulling up all of his Game of Thrones books, and he's flashing them. But why do you think shows like WandaVision are getting more hated? Do you think it's because it's under the Marvel banner? When you think of Marvel, you think of, fireworks, big monster fights, this and that.
Yeah, I think that is a huge part of it. When you're in this Marvel mindset, you do kind of expect a quick pace, flashiness. And while there have, of course, been Marvel shows before, this one obviously has a great budget and has little to none restrictions on its access to characters and themes and what it could possibly delve into. So this is I think it is. There's a bit. I sound so snobbish when I say this, but there is a Marvel mindset that
Oh
people
no,
have
no,
when they
that's not
watch this
snobbish.
stuff, and I think you just need to kick yourself out of there because the things WandaVision aren't even like revolutionary. They're doing a good job, but it's not like these are new concepts or new storytelling vehicles. It's just that it's different from what you usually see from Marvel movies, which is being related to the show. So people are having a weird time adjusting.
I was
Go
just
for it.
gonna say, when it comes to Pietro, like how long has he been in comics? Quicksilver, roughly 50 years, something like that. Yeah, this is not new. This is not new at all, and it's pretty cool to see that, like these concepts of WandaVision and stuff like that are coming to reality.
One thing I will say, just to talk about like some of like the cinematography of the show, one thing I'm a big fan of is like depending on what era they're in. Like if like they were in the 50s, it was like this square box. If they're in like the
The
60s,
ratio of
yeah,
the
the
TV.
ratios. I'm loving the ratios because it's like when they're in the 50s, 60s, it's a square. But once they get into like they're right now they're like in the 70s, 80s, it's full screen. That was the thing. But then when they're in reality, when they're in like the main, when they're not in the WandaVision reality that she's created, it's widescreen, and it looks more like 4K ish. And I'm loving that right there. That's something like whenever they snap back to realities, you see the ratios adjust, and that's something I'm really enjoying.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I didn't know they
Okay.
did
Yeah.
that.
So I want to just okay. Now we're gonna dive into spoilers. So I'm gonna have again Mr. Jacob Knight here take the reins. What did you think of the? Okay, hold on. 3, 2, 1. We are now into spoilers. What did you think at the end when we saw the X-Men Quicksilver pop up?
I'm actually coming out with a video on this tomorrow on my own YouTube channel. You guys can
Blasphemy!
check out Jacob Knight. There
Oh,
are a lot
as of
of
recording, it
people.
is February 6th. I'm gonna try to have it up today. By the way, if I don't have it up today, I just want to put that
It'll
out.
be up on February 7th. But the point is, a lot of people are assuming and or kind of thinking that this is leading towards the Foxmen, X-Men being incorporated into the Marvel universe.
Foxman.
Whereas,
I've never heard
yeah,
that. I like that.
Foxmen. Yeah. The point is, no, that's not going to happen. They're not going to do that. At least I hope they don't do that.
Why do you think they're not gonna do that? Oh, why do you hope not?
Because Feige loves his toys and loves his properties, and he wants as much control as he possibly can. And taking on a prior history from an entirely different company and different creative team is not something that he and his production friends would do, in my opinion. So I feel like they'd want to start fresh. So the fact that they incorporated that actor into the show is to me seeming as more as a nod to that past rather than oh they're linking these universes.
I
And if they
think
do link it, then I'm gonna be upset because I don't want that. I want X-Men to start off fresh.
I mean, these kind of movies, the X-Men movies, especially the X-Men movie, actually, is a movie that's going to take years to build up to. You need,
I'm okay with that.
yeah,
Let's
you
do
need
it.
like 5-10 years to do it. You know, like you need an exponentially long time to build up to it. So the fact that they are doing that is something that at least this seems to be in theory what they're doing, right? I don't know clue what they're doing, but it seems to be in theory what they're doing. The fact that they're doing that is pretty good to me.
yeah,
I
Yeah,
like
I
it.
think it's just like a fun cameo. I don't think it's a real thing.
Oh, okay.
I have a feeling it's gonna like they're setting the foundation now.
Oh yeah,
Like
definitely.
this is my guess that fucking we have Noah over here going Super Saiyan, but
I'm about to punch someone.
I think they're gonna cherry pick. So they're gonna have Evan Peters. Everyone loved Quicksilver for the Foxmen, and I think
Okay, really quick, I just want to say I think it's funny that they had to nerf him in Dark Phoenix because he was very powerful. Like
and
they take him out like not even an hour in so that he can't do anything about what's happening.
does
That's
doesn't he
very
get
funny.
like basically killed
No, he gets
essentially?
knocked out. He
Oh,
gets
okay.
knocked out and hurt. But continue with what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Okay, so this is now I'm just kind of making this up as I go along, but it kind of makes sense as I'm saying it out loud.
Mhm.
I feel like they're gonna cherry pick out of like the Foxmen. They're gonna be like, everyone loved Quicksilver, everyone loved Michael Fassbender, everyone loved so and so. Those are the only two people I know at the top of my head. and they're gonna be like, okay, we're gonna bring these people in, and these were the only people who made it, who she was able to like manifest from that reality. And
Mhm.
again, we haven't seen the next episode, so we don't know it, but it seems like they don't really have, just going based off like that few seconds we saw him, he has no knowledge of his past life essentially. So I feel like she's gonna manifest like, like the Michael Fassbender, the Evan Peters, the so and so's. But then they're gonna start like they're gonna be like, oh, these X-Men are already here. Now let's give a new Wolverine a movie. Let's give new so and so.
Ugh.
Get me?
Yeah, they're probably gonna do something like that.
No,
Honestly,
they're not. I will bet both of you $100 right now that they're not going to do that.
what makes you so likely?
Yeah, you are
No.
very certain on this.
They want. I'm going to tell you all about these corporate minds. They want their own names. They want their own stories. They want their own versions of these characters, and they're not going to just pop someone over. The only reason Deadpool's popping over with that same actor is because everyone loves him and he makes a lot of money.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
fans would riot if Ryan Reynolds was recast.
But
Fans
that's
are
the,
gonna riot because freaking Evan Peters isn't Quicksilver anymore. You know what I
but
mean?
wouldn't you say though, like Kevin Feige is like, I'm gonna sound like a Marvel fanboy right now, but
No,
he's
be a
like,
Marvel fanboy. Be
but
it.
like he's proven, like he's like, okay, like you can trust me with this. Like I know what's best. I've done insanely good. So what's not to say Kevin Feige's gonna be like, fuck it. If the story fits to introduce some X-Men in WandaVision, why don't we do it? You know?
Has the Incredible Hulk movies ever had a staple in the MCU?
Well, that's the thing though. That predates Feige, doesn't it?
Yeah, but the
Uh,
point, no. But the point is that that's just an example of if they wanted that actor, they could have had him like that. If they wanted him, they could have put a deal. He wanted his own actor, their own take of the character, and they're not going to take all that baggage from that last franchise on to their perfect little MCU baby. They're going to want to start fresh. So I am like 99% sure this is just a reference. This is not going to be them introducing anything. And as for the idea of multiversal bringing in, I think there was interesting detail that was brought into the episode. If you've watched it, there's the idea. If you guys have watched Full Metal Alchemist,
I'm sorry, I don't
there
watch
needs
why
to,
anime.
why you asking me?
there needs to be an equivalent exchange. The detail was brought in the last episode that just came out, that the clothing she was wearing was clothing, it was 70s clothing, but the matter itself was made out of the bulletproof vest that she had worn earlier. So the matter did not conjure from somewhere, it was simply altered or adjusted.
Mhm.
So that's just part of the illusion, which I think is interesting. And there's the last week's episode before this one, when Wanda kind of had a thing where part of a building got destroyed. She didn't snap her fingers and a new building appeared, a new wall appeared. She reconstructed everything. She's using the matter around her. She's not just conjuring things out of thin air. She
That
needs the resources.
Mhm.
that'd be a little weird because yeah, I like how they're incorporating that from the comic books into that. I can't pronounce what I'm saying.
Yeah. So she's not like reality warping
Yeah,
exactly, but she's taking advantage of the matter and things around her
yeah,
to kind of change it. So it's
Yeah.
not nothing out of thin air.
Yeah.
I will say this though. I am loving, because I think this is the first time we're like disagreeing on a podcast about something.
Oh, I've disagreed with you on many things, so I don't know what you're talking about.
But this is the first one I can remember in a while. But then again, we only film like a podcast once every 3 months. But yeah, I'm enjoying this discourse. And fuck, God, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah,
You were gonna
I
say
am.
that I'm right.
No, that was definitely not what I was gonna say. But one thing I'm loving is hold on, really quick. Don't you think it was funny how Elizabeth Olsen was like, "I'm gonna do my accent again"? All of a sudden, I was like, Why are you doing your accent again? Like,
No,
pick a lane, girl."
she did her accent because she was out of the warped reality.
Yeah, but okay, but in Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame, she didn't have an accent. She lost her
She
accent.
the I'm gonna say in her defense, even though what you're saying is kind of valid, I'm gonna say in her defense, when speakers of a different language come into another country that's predominantly not accented, this
That's
is a
like the not the
very,
common tongue.
you kind of lose that accent. You still have it, so, but it kind of lessens as you're around people that don't have it. It's just
Mhm.
kind of this cerebral thing that goes on. And I realize I'm explaining this wrong, but you know, the more she's been in America, the less like accent she has.
Mhm.
So while we can debate on whether or not she did a good job of the accent in the first
Nah, not at
place.
all. Not at all. I think we could agree on that. That accent was shit.
So we can have that conversation. I'm fine with that. But I'm gonna say that just being in America for like the movies take their time, like 5 years or whatever, her
Yeah.
accent might have whittled down a little bit.
I would just say this. I know this is me nitpicking, but I'm like, do you have an accent? Do you not have an accent? Pick a fucking lane.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say
this is a very CinemaSins argument you're
Yeah.
giving right now.
I was gonna say it's been like 15 years, but yeah, go with it.
Mhm.
No, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But okay, one thing I was before I got off track about her accent, I'm loving how like Sword is like, dude, she's a fucking menace to society. Look what she did in Age of Ultron, and then like she busted into Sword headquarters, said, "Fuck everyone, I'm gonna steal Vision's body," and then go do this.
But you know what was interesting though?
What?
He said that he said that in Vision's will,
He didn't want to
He-
be resurrected or anything.
yeah, he didn't want anybody to use his technology. He just wanted to be laid to rest. So why did Sword have his body?
That is true.
And why would they only now bring up this evidence, even if it was classified? It would have been given to Rambeau, who's a captain in the organization. She would have had that detail from the beginning. Like, this guy is sus as hell. Whether or not
Okay.
he's evil, we all know
Okay.
he's sus.
Hang on. Catch me up
Okay,
here.
go.
What is okay? So I know Shield, but so how does Sword get explained into this concept?
Do you want to take the ropes on this one?
No,
I could-
you talk about what they do while I look up the acronym, so
Okay.
I don't say it wrong.
So, in the MCU, Sword, they have just been introduced, but Sword was kind of like, they're like a space agency at first. I think
Yeah, I know what Sword is, but like,
Okay.
well, how do they come to be? Is what I'm saying.
they were just here in WandaVision. They've kind of been here, and remember the little girl in Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
She's one of the leads in WandaVision now, and she has been in Sword for some time. So Sword has been established, but we just never seen it up until now.
Okay.
And do you remember Carol's friend in Captain Marvel, her pilot friend? She
She did.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
did. Okay, but the point is she started Sword, and in this world,
Oh, okay.
Sword is sentient weapon observation response to Vision.
Yeah.
So while in the comics, you know, Sword has been as of late kind of like a space thing. Right now, it's sort of like a
They're getting to the
observation of
space thing.
weapons, which is interesting.
One thing I've been noticing too, I've been seeing a lot on like Marvel TikTok, is that people are like, oh, they're referencing
Marvel
the fan-"
TikTok.
Yeah, trust me, I'm on a lot of different TikToks. It's weird, but they're saying they're referencing the Fantastic Four because they're saying that like they're getting into like quantum physics, like, you know, nerd talk. They're like, there's this quantum vibranium, blah 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 blah, but there's one man who I know can solve this riddle. And it was like they're clearly talking about Reed Richards, and look at the way she drew the four right there, is much like the Fantastic Four. And then like they've also like said in like past conversations, they're like, yeah, some of our astronauts in space haven't come back. We don't know where the fuck they are. And people are like, are they referencing the Fantastic Four right there a little bit? So I am kind of loving this. I realize how much I've kind of missed this like Marvel theories, but when it's like less chaotic. But it's like, yeah, maybe they are kind of hinting at Fantastic Four right here as well. They're like referencing them. It'd be cool if we see like Reed Richards before he is Mr. Fantastic. That would be really cool to see him pop up and be like, yeah, this is how you get in her shield.
My
Fucking
only
carry the X right over here. Boom, you're in.
My only problem is that has there even been an actor casted for Reed Richards yet?
No.
Yeah,
There
so-
there is one thing though. I was talking about it with my girlfriend, who's totally real, and I've never made up. Um Elizabeth, I saw this clip that Elizabeth Olsen, well, not a clip, it was a quote pool that you know, journalism lingo right there. Dun, 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 dun. But it was like she was saying that, oh, we're gonna have a big cameo at the end of WandaVision that's gonna be as surprising as Mando having
Yeah.
Mark Hamill. So I'm like, who the fuck can you have? And you know, I will come out and apologize if I am wrong, but I am saying there can be no cameo as big as Mark Hamill, because Mark Hamill has that legacy to him. He is Luke Skywalker.
No,
you know?
I don't think I don't think at this point he has that legacy to him. I think at this point he's just kind of like there lurking in the background, kind of like more so.
No, but what I mean though is like when you saw Mark Hamill, when you saw Luke Skywalker in
I
The
hated
Mandalorian,
it.
you lost. You know, you didn't.
I did not like that.
You really you didn't like it?
I didn't. I think it should have been okay. I have actually. Okay, we're getting off topic. Let's because we could spend an hour on why I didn't want Luke in the finale. But let's go back to WandaVision.
Okay, but the thing is like going back to my point is like Hamill Luke Skywalker has that clout name that you know, but it's like who the fuck in the MCU can you do that with? You know, you have to introduce like a Galactus, or you have to introduce Doctor Doom, like ready to fuck shit up. You get what I mean? Like, you have to do something really, really
Yeah, I know what
big.
you're saying.
Which is why I'm like super doubtful. But then again, if I am wrong, I will come out and apologize. Until then, I'm not apologizing for shit.
If you're wrong and you're totally shocked, I want you to make a video that's like a YouTuber apology.
Just like
It's like, I'm sorry you felt that way and that you misconstrued what I tried to say. Just a whole YouTuber apology.
All
And
right,
we'll
I
be on
will.
the podcast too.
Yeah.
I was gonna be like this. All right, guys, I'm making this
Yeah,
video today. All right. But yeah, but I think they're doing really good shit with this though. Like I'm
Mhm.
excited to see where they go. I think even though we're having this debate, like whether or not you think they should do something, I think they should do something. Either with the fact that we're having this conversation shows like they're doing something good and they're doing something right. And
Yeah.
like it is really fucking good. Like my only complaint so far the entire series was 2 episodes ago when they were explaining Captain Rambo. That was essentially like an anime filler. I didn't think that episode was really needed. I don't think that was a full episode's worth. They could have like chopped that up in like 10-15 minutes. And then the rest could have been going forward with the story. I kind of felt like that was a filler and that wasn't needed. But even then, in the grand scheme of things, that is such a small complaint.
Well, yeah, I actually see this is divisive between the two of us. I think that was really needed because one, it gave you a momentary break from the hex that's going on right now, and it gives you information about Monica herself so that you care. Because if you just say, "Oh, she's this lady's daughter," and then just throw her out,
No,
the
yeah, I'm
butt,
not saying
yeah,
like they didn't show important parts, like seeing the people like post snap. That was cool, but they could
we
have
just
sped
called
it
it
up.
filler.
Yeah, no,
So
but
it's
like,
but it's important.
okay, listen, I'm saying like they talked about some stuff that was good, but they could have easily done it in 5-10 minutes, in my opinion.
I don't think so.
You don't
Totally
think so?
disagree. Yeah. We got so many tidbits from it.
But fuck, what was I gonna say?
We saw them send the beekeeper in. We saw how Monica got in there. We saw the drone. We saw where she stands with this office. It established a lot. It may seem filler to you, but it laid a lot of groundwork for stuff that's going forward.
Listen, no,
Plus,
I could tell you why you're wrong, but I'm just fucking with you.
Okay, tell me.
Number one, fuck you. Number two,
Fuck you.
yeah, there you go.
Jake's better at yelling at people than you are.
That's true. That's true. I got a louder voice.
Yeah, that's very Jake. Because here's the thing, Jake's like a machine gun. You know, like he like most of those shots aren't gonna hit, but the one that does, that's the one that hurts. You know.
If Jake's a machine gun, you're a butter knife.
I'm an M60 with hollow point rounds. Yes, I am.
But okay, but so far though, but I think you could going back to on topic, you could agree with me though, like this show is worth watching.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
Wow, this meeting will end in 10 minutes.
Cut this out. Cut this part out, Lewis.
But like, okay, yeah, but it is great. I have a timer on here, so I know exactly when we need to end now. Let's quickly jump into Mass Effect and talk about that for the last couple minutes.
Okay, well, just to let y'all know, I played Mass Effect 3 heavily multiplayer wise, so I'm an expert
Multiplayer
in
is
that.
really good.
Yeah, the multiplayer is really, really good. But no, I was gonna say thoughts on it, Noah. Or
go ahead, Lewis. Since I have my
Lewis.
own bit, but Lewis, go ahead.
I'll say this: I found out there was a legendary edition that didn't come with the fucking game. It's like you get an art book, you get a wearable N7 helmet, you get all those things. It doesn't come with the game. I dropped $160 today on that shit, and I need to pay another $60 just to get the fucking game. But you know what? It's Mass Effect. They get a pass on this. That should tell you how much I've played Mass Effect 1, 2, 3, and Andromeda. I've Andromeda. I got mixed feelings about. Like, I don't think it was as bad as everyone said it was, but
yeah,
it was solid.
That's my opinion. Mass Effect Andromeda was not as bad as everyone said
No.
it was. But it really gets a bad rep because of the new alien race, what they're called.
I don't
But
dude, I don't
I
remember shit from
I don't remember
Andromeda.
anything, dude, from Andromeda, and not at all. But it gets a really bad rep because of the alien race, in
Mhm.
my opinion, and the enemy the enemy faction that you play against. I don't remember what they're called
And
either.
that's saying
Damn.
something too. If we could remember Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, like key points that came out like 10 years ago, but we can't remember Andromeda that came out like less than 10 years ago, that's saying something, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I
I,
said, we are on a speed of time, so you take the reins, Jacob.
what I think is very interesting about the fact about this entire thing is how they're going to handle the relationships. Just to quote this End Gadget article about Mass Effect, they said one of the first things we really wanted to do throughout the trilogy was unify the options. If something exists in three, we want it to exist in one, and we want that to be consistent. And then we also really wanted to expand the choices for things like skin color and hairstyles that weren't wide enough originally to support the diversity of our characters. And I think that's really interesting because there was a bit of drama back then about the fact that your version of Shepard could sleep with male or female or whatever. And while it may not have been well received on either side, pro or against, I think that's a very interesting thing that they're trying to be inclusive throughout all different versions of the game. I mean, in the article, it also talks about the fact that Fox did this news talk about the sex and that you're able to have in this game, and because of that, one of the artists is credited that they wanted to do um monogen they wanted to do sort of this pansexual relationship option, but they scrapped it because Fox News lit them up for Mass Effect 2. So sorry, pansexual characters. So I think that's very interesting that at the time your options are limited and kind of railroaded in doing certain things, but now when you have these remasters, you can really go back and really examine the framing of your characters and the options available to them. So I'm interested to see what options they give you. Of course, I don't know much about Mass Effect, but I'll play the remastered if it comes out for PS4 or whatever.
So
I'll
wait,
play
wait.
it.
So you're gonna play it? You'll buy it?
I'll buy it.
Oh, bro, you're gonna have to.
I'll try
That's such a
it.
good game. I'll say this too because
If you
we're
let
on
me,
the
if
time
you let
schedule.
me kiss a buff alien dude, I'll get it.
I would say where this game really shines is the B plot to the game.
Oh, the
That
B
being said,
Yeah, the
plots.
B plot.
the A plot is fucking phenomenal. I loved it.
I'm not no, three the A plot. No,
Listen,
I'm
I'll
not
say
sold on
this.
that.
I'll defend the original
I'm not
ending of
sold
Mass.
on the colored fucking ending and the triggering fucking baby hold your hand, master sir, we'll go to the end, go that route if you want to save everybody, go that route. No, I fuck that shit. That shit was terrible. But
I will.
I agree with most of everything before
Mhm.
that. It was really good.
I will
I
defend Mass Effect 3's ending because I feel like that was originally meant to wrap up everything, and they wrapped up everything perfectly, in my opinion. But I am the odd man out in that scenario. A lot of
I
people would
think I
disagree with me
remember
on that.
that. I think I remember there was some drama. People hated how three ended or something like
Yeah,
that.
it
yeah
was so bad they literally went and redid a whole nother ending.
Mhm.
yeah yeah literally.
Yeah, but
Lit-
I will say this though too, like where the game really shines is the B plots
Mhm.
because there's like you meet such iconic video game characters in there and you get really invested in their lives. Think of it like Yakuza, like a dragon. Think of it like that. But it's yeah, like all these characters have such interesting dialogues. Like there's one dude who in Mass Effect 2, his name's Grunt. He's a he's a clone of like this warrior species race, but he's having this whole identity crisis because he's like, I'm not really one of them.
Mhm.
I'm a test tube baby. Like, and then amongst the other Krogans, he's looked down upon. He's like, you're not one of us. And then there's like another one. He's like, I'm an assassin, but I'm dying of cancer, and I've been killing people my whole life. Now I'm afraid to actually die myself. So like, there's all these like, oh, so fucking good.
I
Ah,
mean, like Legion alone, like Legion was one of the Geth, like
yo,
like so many good characters.
yeah.
Legion, Tally. Uh, I have a huge crush on Tally, but that's beyond the point.
Was Tally the
Uh,
Vader one, the Quarian, right?
yeah, she's Corian.
Okay, okay, dude, she died in mine. I was so sad.
Dude, she lived in mine. I had to save her. She final girlfriend, dude. Final countdown.
I had to side with the Geth because I was like, realistically, it made more sense siding with the Geth. And then the shield was like, "Oh, you're gonna side with the Geth? Time to take off my mask and die." I'm like, "No!" But yeah,
God damn
okay.
it.
But like I was saying, fuck, we only got 3 minutes left. It's one of those things where
30
it's like,
minutes.
it's one of those things. Noah, it's like one thing I really loved about this game. No other game has done this, where it's like the choices you make in one will carry over to the choices in two. The choices you make in two will carry over to the choices in three.
That's pretty cool. I like
This-
that.
This is
So-
the first Universal game.
So by the
Yeah.
time I got to Mass Effect 3, I had a very unique storyline as opposed from all of my friends.
Mm.
I'm like, yeah, so and so popped up, and he's like, who? I don't. He's not even in my game.
He's like, that's crazy. I didn't know
Yeah.
that was something you could do.
And
Yeah.
what's even more like awesome about this is that the Legendary Edition, well, like that's what they're calling it, the remastered. It's coming with all the DLCs. So, as a kid, I never played the DLCs, and so it's just expanding it so much more. And I think
Lewis,
that's
what?
awesome. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, it's coming with all the DLCs.
I know it's coming with all the DLCs, but I didn't know that you didn't play the DLC.
No, dude, I missed out on a lot of bangers.
You missed out on a lot of bangers, dude.
So I'm
The-
really happy to go back, and I'm like, dude, it's gonna be amazing.
That game is absolutely the actually game series is absolutely amazing. It is absolutely amazing. I love it. I played Mass Effect 2, for instance, over and over again to the point where
Mhm.
it was second coming. Like it was so good.
I'm gonna say this because I'm gonna stream the game, but when I get to
Uh-huh.
Mass Effect 2,
I don't need to
I'm
buy
not-
it then if you're gonna stream it. I'll
no,
just watch
trust me,
it.
you're gonna want it because there's gonna be decisions I make you may not agree with. But at Mass Effect 2, the final mission is called the Suicide Mission, and depending on what you do, your squad members can permanently die. And I don't remember the right decisions to make in order to have everyone survive. So when I stream that game, I'm not doing any retries. I'm going like, all right, fuck it. If they're dead, I hate to say this, but you're dead. And I'm really
Dude,
looking forward to that.
Dude, it's just buy all the ship upgrades. That's
No,
it.
it was that, but it was also like you need like certain like you could fuck up loyalty missions, and that would like, and it was like I remember you have to break everyone up in squads, and depending on who you choose as squad leaders, it determines. There was a lot of factors at the final mission that I remember like plays into effect. Noah, is any of this getting you interested? Like the fact that we're talking about this?
You know, maybe not necessarily the words, but the fact that you two are so hype for this game makes me think that maybe it sounds like something worth investing time and money into.
I kind of hate to like do this, but we only have like roughly 60 seconds left. I'm really sorry to cut this podcast short, but hey, at least we got it up. You know,
Oh. Lewis,
really quick, make it fast, make it fast.
can I mention one thing? One thing I'm super hyped for,
What's that?
super excited for, Warhammer Total War, Warhammer 3 Total War just got announced with a trailer. It
Uh-huh.
is so sick.
I'm gonna have to check
Trailer
it
is
out.
so sick. It is, oh god, it's so sick. But yes,
But really quick, if you guys want to follow us on any platforms on Instagram and Twitter, we are the Geek Press, DAGEEKPREES. TikTok, we are the Geek Press. It's spelled how it sounds. If you guys want to be a part of the show, you guys want to put in any messages, feel free to DM us on any of our social media platforms, or just add us. If you have any constructive criticism, please. We're open to all kinds, And if you guys can, if you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. If you're listening to this on any podcast platform, please give us a good rating and follow us. It really means a lot. I'm really sorry I got to cut this podcast short. I didn't know Zoom. No, I just kind of want to apologize again for the episode ending abruptly like that. If you guys made it to the end, I really do appreciate it. And again, I am really sorry about the episode just kind of ending like that. I really wanted to go on more. But like I was saying before, if you guys can, and I know this isn't the best time to be asking because it did end kind of abruptly, please leave a good review. And if you have any kind of criticism for us, feel free to DM us or add us at our social media handles, and it'd really mean the world. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed episode 8 of the Geek Press podcast, and we'll see you when we see you again. Until then, take care, everybody.